Yo, what's up, guys? All right. I had to fix that. Okay, cool. Um, First, can you guys hear me? Is this what's up, Sean? I had to go change some settings. So anyway, happy Friday. How's everyone's life? If you guys saw my post, I left California yesterday and then I just drove and drove and drove and it shouldn't have taken that long, but it did. And so I'm finally here. Life is good. Yeah, yeah, okay, so we have Sean here. Sean is, Sean, you comment that on I've seen it, like, on one other video or something, and I was like, "Oh, Sean hated the old intro." But the whole initial thing with the Dugster Bob thing was it was all going to be like a vlog type deal, and so it was my life and my journey with like bikes just being literally everything. And so because of the stupid bike, I've been able to travel all over and meet tons of different people and have the best experiences. So that's a big part of it. And so then, I'd say about a year into it, I kind of pivoted to making it more about like my life and more about getting you guys into the sport. So yeah, anyway, I had a lot of fun at the beach. I did not go in the water, sadly, but it was a lot of fun. What's up, Kev Sharpshooter? We got Blake, we got Frank, we got Sander. Sander's pretty new. What's up, Sander? All right, I'm gonna jump on your question real quick because Sanders' question, which is, what do you think about the total hangover H4? How are you? I'm good. I'm a little sunburned. Like you guys can see my tan line. That's crazy, huh? Anyway, the total hangover, that's the frame that no. I had the Killaby actually. Never mind. Your question's not that hard. Hold on. I'm gonna do your question after Frank's question because Frank was technically first. Yours was supposed to be a real quick answer, Sander, but it was not. So yeah, I guess we're jumping right into this. W3XL4Y says you got a question, dude. Just ask the question. Yeah, guys, but real quick, I guess before I get into answering all the questions, we missed the live on Sunday. I just did not have time to get everything set up where I was at and do that. So we did not do the live Sunday. I made sure to be back today so that I could do the live today. And this one, I mean, if you guys have good questions, like we'll just keep knocking them out. If not, this one might be pretty quick. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I shaved off some facial hair. And okay, that's enough rambling. We got some good questions coming in here, guys. So I'm just gonna jump right into Frank's question. Just jumping right into this. My spoke creak when I ride. Does this mean they are too loose? Usually, Frank, it does. Sometimes it could be that they're too tight. The way this is going to be hard to show without like a wheel, but a lot of people grab the spokes by, yeah, you can't see it, but where they cross. So when the spokes cross right here, a lot of people grab it up here and kind of squeeze it like that to see how loose they are. What you actually want to do is, so like let's say this one crosses, okay, and then this one crosses. You want to grab the two that are kind of parallel and squeeze them that way just to see the loose tightness, because when you grab the crossing ones, sometimes it's not very accurate. Like they might move way more than just because you're squeezing them there than if you were squeezing them somewhere else, because when they're parallel you get a better feeling for it. So squeeze them from there and then see how they feel. I just had to do this on my front wheel because I was missing 5 spokes on the front wheel and it was just making the sound, and it finally got aggravating enough that I asked Barrick for some more spokes. Barrick got me some spokes, and I spent a good part of the morning fixing those because, yeah, every time I'd pedal, you can hear it creak every time you curve. So generally it's loose, but sometimes it's too tight. Just go around on one side, feel them, okay? And you'll feel one or two that are really loose. Go on the other side, feel them, and then just kind of snug them up. But you don't want to get too crazy with it because then when you over tighten spokes, the spoke nipple and it'll give you pinch flats. So be careful with that. Sometimes they're loose for a reason. But like I said, just be pretty conservative with it. And if you do have to tighten one a lot, and you feel like it's pulling into the tube, loosen the two on the other side. So this one's the one you're tightening, and it's right in the middle. Loosen these two so that it it actually equally pulls the wheel without making it like too tight or too loose. Does that make sense? That should make a little bit of sense. But yeah, good question, Frank. Blake says he can hear me loud and clear. Cool, cool. Okay. Total hangover H4. I got to look it up because I want to say the hangover is still really responsive, but it's a lot steeper than the Killaby. Like I'm really familiar with the Killaby, not so familiar with the hangover. This is Sanders' question. What do you think of the total hangover? Okay. We already halfway got into it. But eh, first off, total. I think total interesting brand, and I would love to build a bike just like all total parts. So just super steep, super park responsive type bike. Um so yeah, I like total, but okay, here we go. Here we go. It's got a super steep head tube. Well, 75.25. So it's a little steeper than normal. It's not crazy steep. And the chain stays where it gets really crazy just because it's so responsive. It's 12.6 to 12.9, and then the standover is 7.25. And generally with the total frames, guys, they're super light and they're kind of strong. They're not the best. And I'm not saying this to like say they're bad, but the main focus with the total parts is the weight. So there are like quality aspects that don't get the same amount as like S&M. S&M has heavy frames, but they're really high quality. So so yeah, remember that this thing's super responsive. That back end, if you want to air really high, it's not going to be very fun. And if you have big feet, so when I was riding the Killaby, it was like, God, I think it's about the same, 12.7, and I have size 13 feet. So if I had pegs on there and I'd pedal, the shoes would catch on the pegs, and that's really frustrating. All right, Blake is back using the lives to get through the day. Blake, your mom was in the hospital last time, right? I hope everything's going good, man. Um, Rodney, what's up, Rodney? Aiden XB121. What do you think if stranger bikes, or especially the stranger crux? Because I don't know what bike I should get. This one comes up a lot. And the main thing, I'm pretty sure there's a Crux Pro, isn't there? Yeah. So don't confuse the normal Crux with the Crux Pro. Am I even saying that right? The Crux Pro is crazy. Like if you can afford that, that's similar to the Sunday Soundwave, to the Kink Williams, to the Sabrosa Novus. It's just a really high quality, full chromoly, really strong pro level bike. Now, the normal Crux, I'm gonna have to double check, but I think it's partially chromoly and it's over 500. So it's not like crazy. It's not a crazy good deal, but it is. All right, here. It's 589, so it's almost 600, similar to the Kink Cloud with full chromoly and then top tube and down tube gussets. The gussets are those pieces of metal that go on the tubing, and they just add a little bit extra strength where the weld usually breaks. And so yeah, it is full chromoly. I was wrong. And it's almost 600. So really, I mean, it's going to have double wall rims, I'm sure. Let's look at the front rim. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a solid bike. I'd say it's very similar to like the Kink Cloud, where the Kink Cloud's a step up from the Kink Switch and the Kink Whip because it does have some aftermarket parts like the Stranger Crux cranks, Stranger Haze stem. I rode Stranger Hayes bars and I absolutely loved them. So there's a small handful of aftermarket parts on here, and I don't know if that's in your price range. That's a good deal. It's going to be a great bike, very streety and streety. Is that even a word? And yeah, it's got average geometry. It's not really responsive. It's not really flowy. So it's good to get on and learn and figure out what you actually enjoy riding. But I don't know. I always push like the Kink Switch is a little bit cheaper, similar quality, but yeah, no, that's not bad. That's not a bad bike at all. I actually thought it was worse. Oh, okay. So to Frank's question, he bought a complete, and this has happened to me. I don't know if you mean a complete bike or complete wheel, but I've had complete wheels before. And the tension, I think what it is like the spokes stretch out after time, so they get tight, the wheel's good, and then over time they kinda stretch out, so you do need to retighten them. I had painted spokes before, like white spokes, and they were the absolute worst. They'd go loose, I'd tighten them, and they'd be loose within the week. So there's a few factors that play into spokes. The titanium spokes I had didn't stretch, so that they didn't like, they hardly ever needed adjusting, but normal, chromoly or double butted spokes or whatever you're riding, what I would do is, like I said, just feel around it, feel if they're squishy, but take a spoke wrench if it's all of them and they just need a little bit of tightening, and just go all the way around it with your spoke wrench and only turn it like, I'd only do half a turn, because what happens if you tighten this side like a full turn, by the time you get to this side, the hub's pulled up that way and it gives you that hop. Truing wheels is a whole nother thing, but if your wheel is primarily not doing this, you go around, tighten each one half, this one on this side, this one on this side, this one on this side, all the way around. Don't just do the right side, because then that gives it a pull. But yeah, okay. Good job to clear that up. Hayden says, "What do you think on the KHE strike down?" Hayden Smith. All right, Hayden Smith. I have not seen you in here before, but welcome. I'm gonna look this up because I've never even heard of it. I've heard of KHE. I think it's kind of like a lower end, older brand, right? Or is it Europe? Look at this guy. Okay, okay. Hold on, let me find, and then I'll just look at the specs. This is hard to find for me. KHE Strike Down Pro. Do you have like an older dude? I had a guy message me, or he commented on something asking about a 2014 Fit bike that this guy was selling. And I told him, I was like, dude, I'd be careful with it, first of all, because it's like there's only one model that was full chromoly. So double check that, blah, 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 blah. And he's all, I called him out because it wasn't chromoly, and now he quit replying to me. I was like, good, you probably dodged a bullet there. All right, let's look at the KHE strike down. It actually looks pretty decent. It's got a chromoly, so it's you can spin those bars around as much as you want. 48 spline cranks. Is this the right one? It's the Strike Down Pro. I don't know if that's the right one. That's the one I'm looking at. But this is probably going to be similar to like the Stranger Crux Pro in terms of quality, but it's only 21 pounds. That's crazy. I don't think this is it. Maybe this is it. If this is it, let me know. And like, I'll actually do a review, a video review of it, because that looks like a good bike, but it might not be the pro that you're talking about. You might be talking about the normal, if there is a normal one. Maybe not. Maybe it is just the pro. Dude, if it's the pro, that's a solid bike, but I do not see a price, so I don't know how it is in like terms of the price quality ratio. But yeah, crazy good quality. 48 spline cranks. That's something that hardly comes on like any bike over or under, I don't know, 6 or 700. That's usually like a high end thing. And it's got a good amount of aftermarket parts, really responsive, and super light, like crazy light. One of the lightest completes I've seen, actually. Kev Sharpshooter got new kink samurai grips, and awesome, dude. I was at on my way back. I stopped at Premises in Tucson, and to get tires and grips, and they did not have the grips I want, and they only had 1 tire, so it was honestly pretty depressing. I'm like now I'm starting to look for bike parts, and I'm finally, like, feeling the struggle that you guys have. Literally everything is out of stock. Like, I see people ask about it and post about it all the time, but I don't think about it very much, and then, like, then I actually start shopping, and I'm like, "Man, this sucks." It's hard, man. So I wanna go with something different than the, Demolition Momentums, but I already bought one, so I can't do that. You know what I mean? W3XL4Y has a $600 saved up. What bike should he invest in as an intermediate rider? If you're gonna spend all $600, then I would say probably go with the it's hard, man, because I don't know how tall you are and what kind of style you ride. So post that in there, and when I get back to it, I'll answer it. I'm gonna say something like the Kink Cloud is probably top of your budget there. Um, the Sunday X, I really like that because you can choose between the free coaster model or the non-free coaster model, but it only has a single wall front rim. But yeah, post that in there, and then I'll elaborate. How tall are you? And what do you like to ride? Like street, park, dirt? So yeah, good question. We will get you that answer. I think $600 you can get a pretty decent bike for. Rodney got my brother the Cult Devotion, and he doesn't like it. I would go for the Kink or We the People. The Devotion's been nothing but problems. Rodney, that's interesting to hear because the Devotion comes up a lot, and like a good amount of people that like I've seen even and talked to at the parks love it. But I don't know. I don't know what you got going there. I saw a guy. Have you guys heard of is it Time to Shine? No, it wasn't Time to Shine. I'd have to look. It'll be on the next podcast, but there's a bike shop that has like just the worst. It's not Time to Shine, but the worst, like people will order and then it takes 3 months before they even get a tracking number. And that's so scary. That's frustrating. Man, if I bought bike parts and it's like weeks, I haven't even had a confirmation email, I'd be freaking out because parts are expensive, especially complete bikes. Um, Rodney, I'm sorry to hear about the Devotion. Reach out to Colt and say that it's kind of a hunk of junk. Maybe you got a bad one. I don't know what's going on, but Streety is definitely a word now. Yeah. Yo, Lucas is here. What's up, Lucas? Um, okay, so that's the one you're talking about, Hayden, is the Pro. Yeah, dude, that's a super nice bike. We got Jacob in here. What's up, Jacob? Rodney says, can get anything BMX. It sucks. I can't even get pads. Yeah, what pads are you looking for, Rodney? Lucas says, what camera did I get? Lucas, I got the Black Magic Pocket 4K. I love it. It's so nice. So I on my way over there, I stopped in Phoenix and rode like I got there really early. I just rode all day and I filmed a bunch of stuff. So there's an edit that's about 60% complete. I will post the edit because some of you guys are curious about bike riding and me riding bikes. So I'll post that pretty soon. I should be able to work on it more tomorrow and Sunday and maybe post it midweek next week. So that'll be really cool. But yeah, Rodney, what sucks about the Devotion? I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily a $400 bike. I think dude, it's got the quality and everything there, but I do know Colt rushed out another shipment before most companies. So like the timeline, I think Colt had more bikes when they dropped their new frames and everything like that. So it could have been like a rush deal. I don't know. I don't think they really can necessarily rush that, but I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. Glossy is in here. Farah Capo, what is up, guys? This is fun, guys. I missed this. He says, Farah Capo, when is the 2022 collection coming out? It's kind of tough to actually know. Let me look at my calendar because if I remember last year, they were out around April. And what that means is that it's already March. So it should be coming up pretty soon. Colt just had their new frames come out. We the People just had their new frames come out, and that's usually how it goes. They do the new frames and everything like that to play off of on the new bike models, and they come out just a little bit later. So I tell a lot of people who are commenting and asking about when will this be in stock. I'm like, you probably won't get a chance again to buy it. I think they're just going to switch over and do their 2022 bikes, which should be very soon. God, I can't remember which. I want to say Fit's always early. Let's Google Fit, see if anything comes up. Nothing. But so like they had a dedicated talk about the 2022 bikes before they even released them. And I wish more companies would do that, but they have not. So so soon though. Either April or what is it? March, April, May, April or May. That's my guess, but I'm pretty sure that's when they normally come out. They're working on it right now, if that helps. Yeah, Lucas, my brother sent me a thing for a Craigslist ad. It was a Black Magic with like 4 different lenses, filter kits. It had all kinds of stuff. It was $6,000. And but lenses are expensive, so okay, the devotion spokes were super loose. Feels like the chainstay bent out to the right, and it's been fine. Everything seemed like yeah, I don't know. The spokes being loose, that's something that could happen. Like that's kind of common to come on complete bikes, but everything else, your chainstay definitely shouldn't be bent. But you think about it, right? These bikes come across on a big ship, they get shipped everywhere, and it's very possible the UPS guys just throw it, and it should be packaged so that that doesn't happen. But it could come out crooked too. Look at it down the look down the chainstay and see if it's tweaked out a little bit or if it's pretty normal. If it's tweaked out, I would definitely let them know, especially if it's within a month of getting the bike and you guys didn't do it. Jamal says, "Hey, are you going to do more frame reviews? I think I'm going to get a complete bike in 2022 and then I'll be swapping frames and parts." Yeah, so I don't know, frame reviews are hard for me. I wanna jump on them and do them just because, it's not it's more so just giving you guys an understanding of how that frame is gonna feel and affect your riding, and if it's a good price. Because frames are pretty much the same across the board, like, some brands, like We the People has some different innovations, like the hydroform gussets and, just stuff like or hydroform tubing, but they take a lot of time to do. And right now I could be working on them, but I'm working on a different two different projects. So next year after 2022 bikes, I'll roll into more frame reviews, but I'm working on a way to get the bike reviews done a lot more efficiently and a lot quicker so that I have more time this year to work on the other parts. Cuz ideally it's going to be the frame or the complete bikes, right? All those reviews. And then all the different parts are going to all be linked together so that you guys could literally find out the information you need about whatever you're looking for. But going with that, getting your complete bike and then swapping stuff, that's the best way to do it. Once you get that bike, you can add stuff either as it breaks or as you have the money. So what I would do is I'd get my bike, I'd ride it, my bars would bend, I'd buy new bars, right? Keep riding it, forks would the head cap would strip out, new forks. And then after time, like after a couple years, your bike's is almost fully custom. And that's a really fun way to do it because you can just tweak it as you go, and it's a lot cheaper than spending $1,600 on a bike. Farah Capo says he's starting BMX, and I have a very strange fear about BMX. I do mountain bike, but BMX really scares me. It doesn't let me do all the tricks I want. That's interesting. I'm kind of the opposite. What kind of like fears do you have? Are you just scared to do tricks, or are you scared of the small bike? What is it? That's curious. That's very interesting. I have a friend, Nick. He's my friend I was with over there in California, and he used to ride BMX, crazy good. Then he switched to mountain bike, and he has a hard time switching back and forth. And the reason that is, fair capo, is because the chainstay on your mountain bike and your wheelbase overall is just so much wider. So when you pull back on your mountain bike to get that front wheel up, you're pulling up a lot harder than you have to on a mountain bike. So the geometry is really different. And you can't think about it as the same thing. Like you can't expect to jump off the mountain bike onto the BMX and those skills transfer over just because everything's way, way, way different. Um, and so, like, if you get a sketchy feeling on the BMX when you transfer over, that's why. And so just expect that and kind of plan for it. You need to spend time on the bike just cruising, just riding and feeling what feels comfortable to you and how it's different than the mountain bike. But as for like an actual fear, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what your actual fear is, but I hope that helps a little bit. I jumped on his mountain bike and it was like I cannot manual, I cannot bunny hop. It's just a whole different thing. It's tough. Tough switching back and forth. Even when I switch out a part on my bike, I'm like, this is way, way different. Way different. Rodney says that he feels like the kink curb is better quality than the cult devotion. There's no I mean, maybe how it comes, like the attention to detail, but as for the core components, like the frame, the rims, everything like that, the Devotion's way better. But the Gap is a way, more or the Curb. No, 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 no. The Curb's a lot more compact, but yeah, no, as for core components, the Gap is goddamn, the Devotion is way better. Glossy says to send it back, and that's a pretty fair suggestion. Like I said, just call them and say, "Hey, this bike kind of sucks," and they'll be like, "Why?" And then tell them, and then they'll be like, "Okay, okay." Obama's forehead says, "What are some hood dirt tires?" I'm sure he means good dirt tires, and I'm gonna send the link to my favorite. They're gonna be Demolition, Hammerheads. I think they're Mike Hucker's signature tires, but they're good. You can get a street version or a trail version, but just the makeup of the tread is so good on dirt. Here, I'm gonna send the link. They're really wide and they're cheap. They're only 27 bucks. They're light, they're grippy. Best tires for dirt. Best tires, hands down. So yeah, check those out. Aiden says Maxis. So the Maxis grifters are really good too, especially if you want something that's like street, dirt, and park. They're pretty well rounded. I mean, they're not the best for street, but the Maxis would be a better choice. They're lighter, but they're way, 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 way more expensive. They're almost twice as much as the Momentum. So that's why I went with the Momentums. All right, I'm just looking, I'm reading through all these comments. Midnight Frostly says, so my mom hooked up with my boyfriend's what? um this can't be for real. If that's for real, yeah, dude, get a BMX out of it. And yeah, always finesse the BMX. I support it. There's a really good question over here I wanted to touch on. Mr. Kekji Says I need to choose between the reason or the crisis. I can get pegs after. I'm 6'1". Money is not an issue though. So it's kind of come down to free coaster or not sure. Any help? And Kirk said, if you've never ridden a free coaster before, go with the cassette. And I don't know about you guys. I know a handful of like older guys kind of get a free coaster, and the slack is really hard to figure out. It is for me. That's why I don't ride a free coaster. I hate how the slack feels. You could get the something like the BSD Revolution that kind of eliminates the slack. But as for a complete bike, if you guys haven't ridden a free coaster, I really would. I agree with Kirk is don't get the free coaster right away. Kind of wait, get a cassette, just be safe and comfortable on that, and then test ride something with a free coaster and decide if that's what you want to switch. But a lot of people have a really hard time getting used to the slack, and it's not, dude. You're gonna smack your knee. Not very. It's not very fun. Okay, wait, Frank. I missed Frank's question. I don't know if I can find it. Okay, okay. Is the Kink Williams frame the same frame used in the Kink Williams Complete, or are they different? Okay, Frank, good question. I'm 99% sure, but I'm gonna double check. Um, that it's the same frame, and that's why it's a pro level bike. Like the Sunday Soundwave pro level bike has the Sunday Soundwave frame. Uh, that's just how they do it. The We the People Envy has the We the People Envy frame, but maybe not because it is a little cheaper. Hold on, let me look. I'd always assumed, yes, that was the case, but, actually, no. It's, it's the same geometry, but it's not the exact same frame. Exact same frame has a little bit extra, like, quality into it and better material. It's heat treated, things like that, and this one is not. So yeah, good question. I mean, and that's why it's kind of like you look at the battleship that comes with that battleship frame. It's $1,100 where the Williams is only 750, and that's why. So, dude, that's a good question. Good looking up on that. Terbin, oh, hold on. Yo, what's up, Jeff? Terbin Zayed said, "Hey man, I have a clunky noise when I'm going uphill, pedaling hard uphill. I've tightened everything. The best thing with that, I have the same issue right now, and the biggest thing is that your drivetrain gets so like WD-40 or just grease everything, like your chain. Don't grease your chain, like WD-40 your chain, pull out your driver, grease that. But what happens is on your sprocket and your driver, your chain kind of wears grooves. So if you've changed anything recently, like if you've got a new sprocket, you've got a new chain, you've got a new wheel, whatever, there's it's not lining up anymore because there's not grooves. So you could ride it for a while and then just kind of figure out how it feels and get rid of that sound, but mess with that. Yo, Sean, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was gonna get pizza for this one. I was like, no, dude, California bankrupt me. So dude, the support helps so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Um, but the creaky sound, pedals too. Your pedal body gets loose. You can there's a plastic cover on the outside of the pedal that pulls off, and then you can tighten the body of the pedal. So look into that. Sean, a new beach towel. Sean just gave me $5 because I took out the frolicking in the beach from the intro video. I'm gonna work on a new one, Sean, that's actually just like real quick. It'll be a quick of everything because I the 30-second one, I think it's cool, but it's kind of like redundant and I'm sure it gets old on every video. So we're gonna tweak that and but I'm gonna throw a fraction of a beach clip in there for you and you're gonna notice it and get angry. Jean Gabrielle. Hey, Bob, bro. I recently bought the kink curb. Do you have any tips on how to 180 like for beginners? Yes. Um, Lots of tips. First tip is get good at bunny hops. That's going to help you out so much. You need to be able to hop and you need to be able to have that basic bike control. But I will walk you through it with the finger bike. Jeff is in here. Shout out Jeff for the finger bike. But okay, first, you need a reference point. Your reference point is like a line. I use it when I'm riding almost all the time, but if you're just in a flat parking lot, you have parking, what are they called? The lines in the parking lot. Use that as your reference point. You're going to want to roll at it, and that's where you're going to do the 180. So as you're rolling at it, you're going to compress your body. Okay. You're going to get your chest lower to your knees and you're rolling at it. Your body's compressed. And the body compression thing is what gives you the actual power to pop up and get the 180. And as you come up to the line, you're going to curve or carve. And what that means is start to turn in the way that you're going to spin. So come up to it. If you want to spin left, carve left. If you want to spin right, carve right. Make sure it's going to be easier if you're right foot forward and you carve left, and if you're left foot forward, you carve right. Okay. But come up, compress your body, and when you get to the line, so you're carving, right? Like this, carve, carve. And when you get there, you're throwing your chest up, you're uncompressing your body, and you're turning your head around the way that you're trying to spin. When you pop up like that, it lifts the front wheel, the back wheel follows, and the twist with your body and your head is what brings it around. And then just make sure that you suck your knees up because that levels it out and gives you more time to get it all the way around. And then just land. I mean, that's kind of like the in-depth walk through tips for it. Biggest tip is go on a bank, ride up the bank, and then hop 180. You can do that because when you come to a stop, you're able to pop, turn, and land. And usually, if you don't get the full rotation, you'll still land and roll away. That's the thing that helped me the most. But then also understanding to turn my head. A lot of people, there's a kid at Chandler I was helping with this. He popped, he turned this way, and then he turned his head. And I'm like, dude, that's not how physics work. Like you cannot do that. So make sure you're doing that. Tarek says, is it because my bike is new? If that's the case, um, it's probably the chain getting seated on the sprocket. I think after a couple weeks, that's going to be fine and go away. But also check, we were talking about the spokes on your bike. So check that. See how if your spokes are loose, it's going to be making a weird creaking sound, especially when you pedal, because when you pedal, it flexes the wheel, it flexes the spokes, and yeah, check that because that could be an issue also. That's funny. Tarek is having the same issue with the devotion as Rodney. All right. Tarek says, bro, keep up with your content. I've been watching you since you recommended me to buy Cult Devotion a few months ago in one of your videos. Dude, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to start working on more stuff that helps you actually progress. So that's not necessarily just about bike recommendations because I want to help you guys find the right bike, but then also become a better rider. I love these guys that are like over 25 that come hang out in the lives because they all absolutely contribute to the sport as a whole. It's so interesting to like see their different opinions and their different inputs on everything because for me, I've only been riding for like 10, 12 years. So my perspective on the sport is way different than someone like I think was it Sean was saying he was riding since like 74. It's just so cool to connect everyone together and help everyone get better. Rodney, shout out Rodney. Dude, again, the support, you guys are crazy. I appreciate it. Rodney, you're awesome. Sean, you're awesome. Guys, is there any more questions? Because I might be able to go get some dinner. And yeah, let me look on the comments and see if there's anything. This live, like I didn't want to pick a time because I wasn't sure when I was going to get home. I crashed in my car for a few hours, like 3/4 of the way here because it got late and I was so tired. And I didn't want to like set a time that would disappoint everyone. So when I had time, I just popped on and did the live. Usually it's a lot more popping, but this is good. This is good. Um, wait, no, yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. This guy, Bessian says, please help me. I need a new recommendation because the one you recommended is sold out. And the only thing I want to throw it in this live because that'll help everyone out. Guys, you have to be there's like three things. Be patient, wait till the 2022 bikes come out, and then you'll be able to get a new bike. Um, Everything's sold out for a couple of different reasons, but BMX blew up because everyone wanted to do an outdoor sport with COVID last year, and so it just kind of blew up. So be patient. The second thing, call your bike shops. I know there's a bike shop like an hour from me in a small town that has a good handful of fit completes. You won't find them anywhere else. So call your bike shops and say, "Hey, do you guys have this bike, or what kind of BMX bikes do you have in stock?" And the third one is look online for used ones. Some people probably got one, they don't like it, and they're going to sell it. But in the U.S., I'd be really careful buying used. In the other countries, it's not too bad. But yeah, Bastion. There you go. Hopefully that helps. Um, oh, Rodney, that's a really good point. Who was asking about that? Oh, Tarek. Yeah, check your brake cable or your crank might be hitting the brake hanging out. Sean feels like a cheap bastard. No, dude, don't. Anything is amazing. You guys are awesome. I'm just trying to do this full time and make it work. Aiden is late. Aiden, I'm about to pop off here, but I appreciate you for coming in. Yeah, everyone's got if you have some extra stimulus money, send it my way. Um, Rodney said it seemed like a fast trip, dude. So I left after the live last Friday. I started packing and then I left. I drove as far as I could and then I just pulled past a grand. And there's a nice spot to park my car and sleep. And it rained, dude. There's something so like just majestic about driving somewhere, sleeping in your car in the rain, and then getting to the skate park super early. That is life. It was so fun. So then I rode all day and then I drove to San Diego that night and was there for 4 or 5 days and then drove back in like in 1.5. I mean, I tried to do it the whole time and I just started doing this. So I was like, all right, I gotta pull over and go to sleep. So then I did that. But oh, Jeff just sent me more money too. Oh my God. You guys, look, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is good timing. I spent all my money in California and here we go. But I'm gonna cry. No, I'm just kidding. Who's Debubs? Debubs, is that me? Some guy commented and said, is your name Doug, Bob, or Stir? And I think he was serious. And I thought it was kind of self-explanatory, like Dougster Bob, but maybe not. Uh Ride Lifestyle says I'd like to see how-tos. All right, I'm gonna Ride Lifestyle just because we're like, so I went to California to finish up bike school. It's a thing I'm doing with my friend Nick, the mountain bike guy I was talking about. It's a really in-depth course with over like 50 different how-to videos. We're not talking about it much because we don't want a bunch of people to take this idea. We spent 6 months now. This is the 6th month on it to make it happen, and we're 99% done. But it's going to have a lot of how to's, Ride Lifestyle, and I'm not going to talk too much about it yet until we're ready to drop it. And but yeah, how to's are coming very soon, and they're crazy. They're so in depth. So in depth. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Sean sent more money. Shout out, Sean. Guys, the support makes this so much more fun to do. But like, regardless, I just am excited. You guys, how you wake up and go to work, and for the most part, you're like, I don't want to go to work. And I'm able to do that. I'm able to come back from work and then just get on here, do bike recommendations, do all kinds of stuff. And I love it. And then you guys just being a part of it, like without even giving me money, I love it. So you're crazy. I'm gonna go before you guys send me all your money. If there's any last minute questions, throw them in there. I'll get some sunblock so I can quit burning. And yeah, oh wait, one more question here. Jamal, but when pros have company logo or sticker or part of the frame. Yeah, no, usually it's just a sticker, Jamal. They throw the sticker on there. And you could do that. One thing my friends and I would go to different shops. Like if you walk through the mall, go to a van store and ask them for stickers. They have stickers and they will just give you stickers. And then you can feel part of the crew. That's a good pro tip. I'm gonna make more stickers. I'm gonna just use all this money to make stickers. That's a good idea. You guys, if you have any sticker ideas, throw them in here. There's one really good one with a tire and then Dougster Bob as the white on the tire. That's gonna be one sticker we're doing. But if you guys have any sticker ideas, throw that in there. Oh, that's what Aiden's talking about. He says stickers. I thought he was talking about the other stickers. Sean, email me or comment some sticker ideas and I will dude, I really want stickers. These ones that I did are so old. And yeah, so I will do some sticker ideas. Just email me. You guys all have my email. Email me the sticker ideas because I'm gonna work on that next week. And we'll see how that goes. Aiden, how is class? History class? You're usually in history class in the live. This one's a little bit later, but I've been seeing the progression too, man. It's pretty sick. I'm stoked for you. All right, guys, I'm gonna pop off of here. I'm gonna go get dinner. Rodney, Jeff, Sean, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you all. Live on Sunday is still happening because I'm home now. No more traveling. So we're gonna do the live Sunday evening. We'll get a pizza or something and hang out for that. And again, guys, I really cannot express how much I appreciate everyone that's a part of the community. BMX means more than you guys will ever know. So being a part of growing the sport is something special. My goal is to get 1 million people into the sport. So you guys are helping me out with that. Have a great day. Thank you so much.